I only love it with some passion. Rubber band and the money that keeps stacking. Got a honey who come with elite fashion. She too fine, I tell her that thing magic. You ain't a hustle, you broke, well that seems tragic. Gotta catch in the fields like deep passes. I tell her plug if it's sticky, then please bag it. I need the best cause I grew up beneath madness. Need a matte burgundy mercy. Jewelry so heavy it might hurt me. Smoking extra kill, that extra seal. Whoa, Buffalo money need extra bills till I'm eating so much.
Need
I got
extra bills, extra bills. What is going on? It's your boy Jay Spence the King. I am back in the building. I'm excited to be back. I got my man Steros for the girls with me. Antoine is out on vacation, and my man Jeremiah Poyer will be starting next week with us. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Steros for the girls. What's good, bruh?
Yo, what up? What up?
What's up with you, man?
Hey, just out here in championship land, rock with these Nuggets.
Oh boy, here you go. You didn't even get we couldn't even get 30 seconds into the show before you and Liv, the two of you. I can't deal. I can't.
Hey, Liv know what it is. She know what it is.
That's all right. Y'all can celebrate y'all won. You know what I mean? I'll hang with my 17 over here with the Lake Show. We'll chill with these 17 to keep us warm. It's okay.
Hey, y'all gotta share, man. It's the first one,
Hey, I like it. I like KCP. I like Murray. I think Murray's gonna be a star. I don't know if people consider him a star now, but if not, he's gonna be a superstar. I like him. I love Joker. I mean, how can you not? It kind of makes me mad sometimes because it almost looks like he's not as good as he is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense when I say it, but
yeah.
But it's like you watch him and it's like he's the slowest, most it's like the most unattractive form of basketball that you're watching, but yet he makes every shot. He's elite. So no, I can't hate on Denver, not one bit.
Nah, man. Jokic he plays so boring, but he's efficient, man. He's efficient.
Yeah. He's like the new improved Tim Duncan. I don't know if that's a diss to say, but I don't feel like it is. I'm assuming Sarah's in the comments rolling her eyes because you're talking about Denver winning and her Miami Heat didn't. So shout out to Sarah and the Miami Heat for taking the L. Anything that has to do with Miami taking the L, I'm gonna get behind.
It's a great day. Yeah. And Sarah was salty. I told her the same thing. I was like, y'all have won some championships. Y'all gotta let us get at least one of them things, man.
Yeah, but you know what? Last one they lost before this one was against the Lakers. I just feel like they just look, their job is to make the rest of us feel better.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
My man Richard Rush in the building. What's going on? Everybody in the comments, we appreciate y'all being here. My man Daryl Domes is here. My B thing. Don't nobody else call it that. That's mine. B thing is here. We're gonna get right into some fun stuff. I feel like there's a lot to talk about. You already kind of started talking about the NBA. Look, it's been a few weeks. We haven't been on here together, so we haven't talked. Let's just catch up for a quick second, man. What the heck is going on with Ja Morant? Since we're talking about the NBA first.
Oh man, gangster Ja. Hey,
gangster.
Hey, that's putting it kindly, man. It's hard to understand. Like, I really do try to be one to understand what a player has come from, what he's going through, and so forth. But you look at Murray State, and you didn't see this Ja Morant. And now NBA Ja Morant wants to be a thug. You know what I'm saying? He wants to hang out with all the killers, and it's like, man, that stuff. I guess he thinks he's Zach Rudolph or somebody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know, man. It just feels like he's really close to throwing it all away. He's lucky that he only got suspended for 25 games. He's lucky. That's what they only gave him. So I hope he gets his act together.
So there's a couple different ways I'm looking at this. So first, I look at it look, he's getting in. First of all, it's the NBA,
right?
So what we're coming down to here, it's not illegal for him to have a gun. It's not illegal for him to be on live with a gun. It's not illegal. None of that stuff is illegal, nor is it quote unquote wrong. But the thing is, it comes down to, okay, this is my employer's code of ethics or code of conduct, no pun intended there. And this is the rules you have to live by.
Right.
So He's not living by those rules. They gave him a pretty much like a warning with a slap on the wrist before, and then he comes back to do it again. Okay, you're on thin ice, obviously. Like something's wrong with you. But here's my problem with it. I'm not condoning him flashing guns. I'm not condoning him being a fake thug. I'm not because he first of all he's not tough, right? We all know that Ja Morant is not tough. I think we can agree on that, right? Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
okay. So my problem is though, the government representation in his state send out Christmas cards with these type of pistol. Actually, not even with what he had. They sent out Christmas cards with their families with AR-15s. The representative from their state, they'll wear the pins of AR-15s and other type of guns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is like, is it fair that we have these expectations for these NBA players or NFL players or really just celebrities in general when we don't even have them for the leadership of the state or the city?
No, I think that's fair, man. I think it's how you do it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like who you're hanging around with in the car, listening to certain type of music, and you flashing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look good, right? And I know in Tennessee you can carry a gun around and whatever. It just doesn't look good, man. And you would think that after he got the 8-game suspension, that maybe he would walk a little differently. I'm not saying he can't hang out with whoever he hangs out with, but at some point you got to be like, yo, bro, like put the Instagram down. Like if we're gonna hang out, like I don't want no lies and no guns. You know, let's just keep it 100. Like let's just chill. And I guess apparently folks can't do that. So that's on him. And I think what they say he's gonna lose around $40 million is what it's gonna come out to. And
Man.
Yeah, and that's enough to be like, I'm good now. Let me get served this 25 game, and I'm gonna straighten it up, man.
But you know what's amazing to me too is like the double and triple standards that we live with in sports. Because so for instance, now again, I am not saying that either one of these things are correct. So what Ja Morant is doing with flashing the guns and stuff is a bad example for young people. It's a bad example. It's not the image that the NBA wants to portray. So I'm gonna say it's a bad idea. But then you turn around and then you look at somebody like Kanye West. He gets dropped from Adidas for saying stuff that he shouldn't have been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, right? But then Ja Morant, same deal. They're like, oh no, we think he's gonna learn from this. We can work this out with Ja Morant. It's hilarious to me what gets punished, what doesn't, who gets punished,
Right.
who doesn't. And it's just something, man. Like the hypocrisy in the NBA, the NFL. Same thing. We could talk about Tariq Hill. I don't know if he's gonna get a suspension or not, but the charges were already dropped. Or I don't know if I'm saying that properly. They decided to tell the victim that he would have to file the charges a different way.
Right.
I'll look that up while you comment on that.
Yeah, no, man. We live in an era of lawlessness. To be honest, morality is a whole topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, there's certain triggers that I won't say on the show. You know, we talk about this stuff offline, but that get people kind of riled up. And apparently, I guess if you want to be about that life in the streets, you know, it's okay. And there's certain things you can and cannot say, and there's certain things, like you said, that won't be penalized. And that's the kind of the society we live in, man. It's like, you know, you can get out of anything nowadays. Like what's that Melly kid, like killed 2 of his friends, right? And now they're talking about, you know, he might be getting off scotch free. And people say, well, free him. Like, no, why are you freeing him? That dude killed 2 of his friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we look at lawlessness and morality, and we applaud the things that are quote unquote not good, evil, if you want to call it that. And then when people do good, we just look over. So it's just the times we live in, man.
Yeah, and to that report, so I did look it up. So pretty much if the person who's the victim here wants to pursue charges, the police basically told him that he'd have to go to the state attorney general's office. So just like, you know what, all right, we ain't got time for this. Go ahead,
Yeah.
you take it over there if you want to do it. So yeah, no, everything you said was there. I co-sign it, man. I'm on it with you. It's just insane that I don't know. I'll tell you what, for me, you give me one of those checks, I can promise you I'm showing up on time to work. You ain't got to worry about no guns being in the car. You ain't got to worry about, like, for what? For what? When you're making that type of, first of all, there's people that I'm sure both of us know. There's people I know in the comments, people are related to or have been in a position themselves where it's like, look, we trying to get out of the area that you're
Yeah,
trying to
man.
act like you're from. Like
Yeah.
you're acting like you're from somewhere that you're not, and we're trying to get out. You give me a check for $400 million or $40 million. I don't need this second zero. I'll take it. But you give me the one for $40 million, and you ask me how many times you're gonna see me back on
Oh, yeah.
Look, now the east side of Buffalo gonna catch love. I'm gonna bless the city. I'm telling you now.
For sure.
I bless the east side. You ain't gonna catch me posted up in Langfield. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. Love y'all, Langfield. Love my people over there. I miss you. Won't see me.
Hey,
Won't see me.
that's a good point. You know how, like, if you affiliated, when you're, if you're an NBA player, NFL player of status,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of money that you're gonna have to pay that affiliation for you to be hanging around for them to protect you. Like, it's just a mass extortion scheme. And you, from the music industry, you know how it works. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a good business decision at all.
If I'm making 40 M's, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna hire the best security firm if that's what I feel like I need. Why I feel like I need a security firm? I need 40 security guards with those type of pistols to first of all, if I'm making that kind of money, I'm a professional athlete. The city I play for gonna love me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
like that's like Stephon Diggs not being able to go, or that's like Josh Allen not being able to go to Barbell. Are you kidding me? I would be able to go to Barbell whenever the hell I feel like it with no, come on.
Exactly.
So no, you're not gonna be paying me 40 M's and I'm not gonna hit a Henry Ruggs type situation. You know why? Because I got a driver. If I want to pay a driver with my 40 M's, I'm gonna get an Uber. I'm still not driving, is what I'm saying. It ain't happening. I just don't understand like the mindset of some of these young dudes, man. Like what are we doing? We can go down a list. We don't even have to do that. We can go down a list of just stupid decisions over the years. I still think about Alvin Kamara out in Vegas when he beat that dude down.
Yeah.
Come on, man. For what?
You ain't got no homeboy that'd be like that to handle that for you if it was that bad.
Even if I don't even want to be, I don't even look. I just don't want beef with nobody when I got that type of money. Like there's nothing you're gonna say to me that's gonna make me so upset that I won't be. I'm not messing up my pocket.
Too rich to fight, bro. I'm not too rich to fight,
bro. Call me. Oh, you what you call me? You call me? Oh, that's funny. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. There's nothing you're gonna say that's gonna make me that mad. It's not happening. I'm not putting hands on nobody messing up my bag. Y'all can miss me.
Did you hear what happened to Lil Boosie recently?
Dog.
He got security that's strapped. Why do you need it?
And then did you hear how they caught him?
How they catch it?
He was on a TikTok.
Oh, that's right.
And they noticed the gun in his. Again, these are just decisions that just basic decisions that you don't like. You just don't need to be caught doing any. And I don't care if you're just sitting in the house. Why do you need it? Why do you need it? You make it doing music. You make it playing sports. There's no. I'm telling you, I'm just not gonna be around. And if y'all call me different for that, people act like, oh, he brand new. He can't be. Hey, sorry, man. I'm sorry.
And you know what the common denominator and all that is? They all brothers. I mean, we got to do better when it comes to that stuff, man.
I don't know.
Ruining a lot, man.
With these situations, yeah, you could say that. But I mean, there's more people than
there's
more than. So I'm just saying, like in general, we make these bad decisions. We get money and we do all of this stuff. My man Daryl said people got to stay away from Vlad. Everybody needs to stay away from Vlad TV. And that's not me throwing. Just stay away. Just stay away. Unless you 1,000,000,000% clean with everything you're doing, stay away from Vlad TV.
Hey,
and even then, stay away.
You see that skit with Drewski? He be snitching on everybody. That's Vlad. After the interview, hey, I got him right here.
He ain't even got to do it. He just posted on YouTube. I didn't say it.
These dudes be telling all of themselves, man.
I didn't say it. It was on YouTube. They say it themselves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyway, let's move on to some sports because all of this is just crazy. I was hoping that Jeremiah and Antoine was going to be here for this one because I have to ask you about this one. I ain't heard no Buffalo Bills analysts, nobody in podcasting talk about this from our area. Zion Williamson.
Oh.
And Mariah Mills. I have to ask, man. See, we're talking about decisions. This is the episode of decisions.
This is what the show should be called tonight. Decisions. My boy Zion, bro.
Well, real quick, let me lay it out there for those who might not be aware. If you don't know, I don't know how. So Zion Williamson, star NBA player for the New Orleans team down there. Basically, he announced on his social media accounts that he and his girlfriend are expecting a baby, and OnlyFans superstar, I guess, is that the way we're describing her?
That's a very kind way to say it.
Okay, OnlyFans superstar Mariah Mills apparently breaks her NDA and goes on a series, and by series I'm being kind. She wrote novels on Twitter about this guy Zion Williamson, and it got ugly really fast. Now, what are your thoughts, Charles?
Oh man. So my thoughts on Zion are this, man. Zion comes from a very small religious Christian school and community, right? Zion has always been a top athlete. Okay. Zion wasn't ready for them streets, bruh. And he was on an interview months ago talking about how he loved Dallas, and him and the players, they all laughing like it's cute. But we know it's Zion. Those who about that life, we know what Zion talking about. And he thought it was funny. Now he got caught. He got caught up, trying to be that dude out there in them streets. And now, hey, the funny part about this whole thing is, man, is that like his whole little proverbial world is falling apart, and she just owned him. Like I think we've all dated a chick like this, where if something goes wrong, she airing all your junk. All your junk is getting aired.
Hey.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Hey,
he found the wrong one. He done found the wrong one. Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah.
That's no comment.
We all
good.
Hey, we all got one. We all done had one of them, man. And unfortunately, my boy's dirty laundry just out here for all of us to see. And she ain't playing. She wants that man gone. Like she talking to the organization talking about get him out of here.
Why Adam Silver calling that big call and got her suspended before the draft this week though? He said, "No, she ain't gonna keep it going now. She got to stop."
Man,
it's just it just comes back to decisions though. I know we started off talking about like John Morant, and we talked about Tyreek Hill, but even on this type of stuff, like it's okay. So this isn't violence. This isn't having guns in the car and all this stuff, but even stuff like this, it's like, look, man, are we really still not learning from decades now of professional athletes that came before us? They actually have classes in the NFL and in the NBA, like for these young men. When you come in, these are the type of things that you don't get involved with. This is how you handle these situations. Ask any professional athlete. There are classes about conduct off the field, about how to conduct yourselves around people, a room full of women when you probably shouldn't be there. All of these conversations they have with these young men, and then these situations like the Zion Williamson and Mariah Mills situation still happens.
Hey, what did Belle Biv DeVoe say? Never trust a big butt and a smile. Hey, got him.
Classic.
Got him.
but see this is what's happening. It seems like this is the summer. It seems like every summer something's happening, but this year it just seems like there's one thing after another. And because even from and we haven't talked about it at all, and we don't have to get into it, but even like just earlier in the year, like the rumors about Josh and his breakup and all that stuff. And then you had the Josh and Diggs stuff. Then you had it's just all of these different things. It's just like, yo, from it being our team to you looking around the league at other teams to other, it's just craziness this year. Like there's so much craziness.
Mm. It's the Brittany Renner disease, man. It's catching these boys out here.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's move on because I feel like that conversation could take the turn for the ugly. So let's get to let's talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills. So there's been a lot of, obviously, like we said, some rumors and stuff going on during the offseason. Now it seems like everything is quiet now around One Bills Drive. It seems like okay, it's quiet. Now we're just waiting for everybody to come to camp and let's just get this thing going and get ready to head into the preseason. Where are you at? Just overall feelings about going into the season. How do you feel with, current feelings about the Bills?
Man, I just want all this Stephon Diggs stuff to just kind of die down and go away, to be honest. I'm really tired of hearing about it, but I understand why it's a big deal. Like Sean McDermott's comments probably don't help. You got Josh out here talking about, he's dedicated to football more than he ever has. And so, I mean, it just the cryptic tweets from Stephon, not even relating to the situation, just it's cryptic, right? It's just wearing you thin because, you want the nucleus of your favorite team to be good, right? And you can obviously tell this is not right. All the things that we speculated about early in the offseason before we even got to see Stephon Diggs or Josh Allen step up to a podium, I think the fears that we all had were kind of true. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something going on between those two. Maybe they need to work it out. And, it's just like, I kind of like it on one side just because the focus is off the Bills in terms of like the Super Bowl, right? That maybe they can go on the radar, they can use these 6 weeks to kind of get it together, him and Diggs kind of figure it out. And then, come training camp, they're ready to go. But it's unfortunate, man, because it's like last season, I felt like we should have been done with all the drama. I wish it would have ended there, right? And then this is a new season, and you're gonna have your whole new devils and issues or whatever they are on the field, off the field, etc. I just wish it kind of would have been wrapped up. So we just gotta kind of wait and see. So I'm excited about the actual team, the personnel and the team and where they're going. I'm just not really excited about the chemistry right now.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Like outside looking in, just all the interviews and the way conversations have gone, I don't know how I feel about the camaraderie of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't. But what I will say is, I guess I'm just not worried. When Vaughn came out and he had the conversation, he said, like, really though, does it matter right now? Like, is this the time of year where we win the Super Bowl? No. And when Vaughn kind of put that into perspective, it's like, you know what? At times, there's times we come into work, you don't want to deal with the people that you got to deal with at work. It is what it is. And just based off of what everybody was saying, now everything is fixed. It seems like it's going to take some time for them to get completely back to where they were as besties and bros and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But things are back and things are good. So at this point, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not even tripping about the chemistry in the locker room. At this point, it's like, okay, the offense is the second year in this offense. It's another consecutive year in a similar offense. I'm not tripping about the offense at all. I'm actually excited. I want to see James cook. Like I want to see him get out there, and I want to see them put the ball in his hands as a number one back. I don't expect him to be a workhorse. Like I don't expect him to get 30 carries a game. That's insane. But I do expect, and I would very much love to see him get the bulk of the workload.
Yeah, I think it's time for someone on the offense side of the ball to kind of have a breakout season. You know what I'm saying? Like we had Josh and Gabe Davis to an extent. Right now I want to see, maybe Osiris Torrance on the offensive line or Dalton Kincaid or James Cook. One of those three guys, man, I would love for them to pop off because I think we need that excitement. I know I need that excitement. I would love for James Cook to be that guy. So, and I'm hoping he is.
You know what will be amazing? Like, could you imagine if Osiris? Okay, so Osiris gets drafted. He comes through. He's the dude that we think he is, right? He comes and he plays phenomenally on the line, and then now Spencer Brown's back is fully healed, and because if you remember, he graded out high, like in basically every metric. that for you to kind of look into the future and say, okay, this kid can be special as a offensive lineman. He graded high in every metric. So could you just imagine if this is the year? Okay, Spencer's healthy. We finally draft a guard that's going to be worth anything. Dion is here doing his thing. Mitch won't get a concut, and we just have an offensive line that can really protect Josh. And I don't know how you feel about McGovern. I don't know, but still, that type of line, if it comes together, man, this could be a year. Because that, to me, that was the only real weakness on the offense.
Right. Yeah, offensive lineman is key, and luckily the Bills kind of were redundant in trying to find talent on offensive line. And I think, when was the last time we had two solid guards? You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a revolving door at that position. So yeah, O'Cyrus Torrence, I'm hoping that he wins the starting job. Connor McGovern's is a decent starter, right? But hey, if O'Cyrus Torrence can add that level, you know how we used to talk about John Feliciano being the enforcer. Like now you got somebody who can do that, right? You got a guy that can actually do that. Can he? I think O'Cyrus can be that guy. Like everything in his profile is run blocking and just fierce. Like he don't care. Like dude is gonna put you down. You know what I'm saying? Like moving people. So I want to see that, man. And I think that's gonna bode well for James Cook, Damian Harris. I think it's gonna be great.
And I was trying to think when you first asked that, you said like, when's the last time we had two guards that were, and I'm trying to think back, and if I'm honest, I'm leaning towards like 15 or 16.
Incognito, and who was the guard with him? No, it wasn't Cordy Glenn played tackle. Who was the guard with Incognito?
Yeah, Glenn played tackle before we sent him to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It was Cordy Glenn and John Miller.
John Miller,
yeah.
Yeah.
Cordy Glenn, Richie, we had Eric Wood, John Miller, and Centrell. Yo, look, that wasn't probably, when you look at it, you won't look at that lineup and say, oh man, that's a Hall of Fame offensive line right there. But I tell you what, we had the number one rushing attack 2 years with that combination. And LaShawn, obviously LaShawn McCoy helps that quite a bit. But no, man, I think if Spencer's healthy this year, it could definitely, I don't know. I'm excited about the offensive line. Daryl says McGovern grades high as a pass blocker. He should be light years better than Saffold. And to me, hey, if you're light years better blocking for Josh, okay. The other four are decent at run blocking, and I think, like I said, I hope this line can gel and really do well for it. Man, I'm excited about the O-line. I don't think I've been this excited about an offensive line for quite some time.
Yeah. And Roger Saffold, man, we talked about this. If you go back and watch the Bengals game, Roger Saffold was an extreme liability. Josh Allen was running for his life because of Roger Saffold getting beat constantly. So, hey, man, and I know that's one game, but Roger Saffold was bad all season.
The offensive line was bad all season, and I don't care what nobody say. If you go back and you watch the season, man, every single game, Josh is running for his life. There's a reason why. Like, first, let me say this, because I have been in a couple debates that I didn't feel like being a part of. Josh didn't get injured scrambling. Josh didn't get injured hurdling over other players. He got injured in the pocket trying to throw because the offensive line didn't protect him. That's why he got injured. So with that being said,
yes, sir.
Look, if we can protect Josh, the running backs will figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not worried about Josh when he decides to run, when they call these plays, these quarterback sweeps and all this stuff. I'm okay with Josh doing that. My thing is when he gets out there and he wants to be Brett Favre mixed with Aaron Rodgers, mixed with John Elway, mixed with whoever he wants to be, and he wants to fling that thing around the field, I need y'all to protect that man. Yeah. I watch so many games over and over at this point, and when I tell you, dude, he can't even stand back there he literally can't. He can't. There's been so many plays, Sterles, where like he literally snaps the ball, and before he moves off his first read, there's somebody in his face, and he has to do something Josh Allen-y to get away, and make it, and that just shouldn't be, man. Like,
yeah.
it just shouldn't be. And I think, if I'm being honest, Josh Allen probably should have been the MVP the last 3 seasons. When I say this, I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. I think both those guys were amazing and they deserve to win the MVP award. But when you talk about most valuable player, I talk about the guy that the team puts the most on. Josh he accounted for the most offense on any team for any player. Yeah. That was Josh Allen. So when you talk about valuable to their team, there's not a player in the league to me who's more valuable than Josh Allen was to the Buffalo Bills. I'm done with my speech. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. And you know what? I do hope that the player ratings, when the NFL Top 100 come out, I really do hope they give Josh Allen his flowers, because I feel like it's been lacking lately. Josh Allen, I don't understand the slander that he gets online. Like, the people on Twitter they always want to talk trash about Josh Allen, but if you're not Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow I think Josh Allen's better than Joe Burrow, to be honest. I don't think you could say much. I really don't think you could say much bad about Josh Allen. It's crazy.
They still do. They be trying.
Yeah.
They still do. And look, I get it. You're gonna hate, like, if you're a fan of another team, you'll just find something to joke about. But in reality, man, when I look at Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Herbert's probably coming. Like, I think he's close. He's very close. But when I look at those top 3 guys, you're splitting hairs. I'm not mad if I get to draft any one of those 3 guys to start my franchise. I'm a happy GM. So so it's like, I get it. We have the jokes and we have all that other stuff. But I'm disagreeing with Daryl right here. He says Burrow is a great system QB with weapons. Completely disagree. Joe Burrow has that it thing about him, man. Like, there's just something about him. I didn't believe in him coming out of college. Like, when he first at LSU, I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, look at the receivers this guy has. I can go out there and probably throw 50 touchdowns and 6,000 yards for that college season with those type of receivers. Joe Burrow is that dude. I'm gonna just tell you, I was completely wrong. He's a guy out there. He has the it factor. He just knows how to win. I don't know. What's your assessment of Burrow, man? When you see comments like that, when you say he's a great system,
it helps that he has, the receivers that he does. But Joe Burrow, he may not play off script like Josh Allen, but what Joe Burrow has between the ears and how he processes the game, there's 9 ways to skin a cat. He just does it differently. I think you could put him in any kind of system, and we forget that he's athletic too. Like, it's not that he's just a stick in the mud, sit back in the pocket and dissect you kind of guy. He can, when he wants to, he can get outside the pocket and make some plays. So yeah, Joe Burrow is a generational talent, in my opinion. He's really good. I just, when people just say that, well, Joe Burrow is just way better than Josh Allen, I'm just like, oh, pause, bro. Because, I think Josh Allen is the most complete quarterback in the league. We're talking about, when you evaluate everything, running, passing, what's between the ears, process of pre and post snap. I think Josh Allen, is in my opinion, I think he's the best quarterback in the league.
You're not gonna I'm not gonna fight on that. Now, if somebody was to ask me right now to pick, obviously I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes. I've just seen him at this point. It's tough for me to bet against him. Like, for me at this point, for Mahomes, it's starting to get into the language where, like, okay, when Brady was being Brady, it's like, okay, I just can't bet against Brady. Like, they could be down by 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, and you're like, look, it's Brady. They could still win. That's how I feel about Mahomes now. So I'm not gonna throw any shade on Mahomes, but I feel the same way, man. Like, when it comes to Josh, I feel like he can literally do everything that he can do and what everybody else can do, while everybody can't do what he can do.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what makes a difference. Reps out here in the comments says, people watch the talking heads on TV and think that there's some sort of authority. They talk down on Allen and people believe it. Even Bills fans are questioning McDermott. Here's the thing. I think it's fair to question McDermott.
Yeah, I got some questions about McDermott, but I still think he should be the head coach.
Well, what's your questions on McDermott?
My thing with McDermott is like, when I see Sean McDermott come into a game, I know Sean McVay, sorry, I know what he brings to the table. When an Andy Reid comes into a game, I know what I can expect from Andy Reid. advantage does Sean McDermott bring on game day? And we're going to find out this season, I think. Now that he's calling plays, I think we're gonna see about Sean McDermott more than we ever had before. Because I think I understand, and I'm not diminishing the value of the regular season. I think that this team plays great in the regular season, and I know there's only one Super Bowl champion, and you can't get to the Super Bowl every season. But with the roster that they've had and Josh Allen's ability and talent, I feel like they should have gotten more. And I think Sean McDermott he's the catalyst for that. Like, I need him to be 1/3 of the equation of a winning team. The offense, defense, and Sean McDermott. Not special teams. Sean McDermott needs to be the catalyst to get the Bills over the top in the playoffs. So I've seen Andy Reid do it. I've seen Bill Belichick do it. I've seen Sean McVay do it. When are we going to get that signature moment from Sean McDermott? And we haven't got it yet, in my opinion.
No, that's 100%. I'm with you. My thing is, I was one of the ones that, like, because everybody wanted to blame Frazier, like, even for 13 seconds. Now, I know now there's this false report that's, yes, I'm saying false report that's out there now saying that Frazier left because McDermott took over the play calling for 13 seconds, and that McDermott wanted to take over for play calling this year, and that's the reason why he left. A bunch of things that are out in the media currently are just untrue. But when it comes to this conversation, look, for me, I've been wanting to blame McDermott for the shortcomings of the defense and the team overall in general for quite some time. And because I don't think it's fair that I get it. You're right. You do. I give my offensive and defensive coordinator all the authority in the world to make play calls on game day.
Yeah,
and I follow their lead. Okay, right. I'm with you on that. But when the game is on the line and the season is on the line, to me, I don't care what authority you give anybody. I'm looking at the head coach. That's who I'm looking at. So everybody wanted Frazier gone. Guess what? Now you got your wish. Right. So I'm with you, Sterls. Now at this point, there's no scapegoat. There's nobody for McDermott to fall down on. Nobody's going to fall on the sword for him. If this doesn't work on defense, it's McDermott. There's nobody else to look at.
Yeah, no, hey, you're right, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds, because now if we have some shortfalls like we've had in previous years with Sean McDermott calling the defense, let's say we get to the playoffs and in the AFC Championship game, the defense just completely folds and we lose, then hey, people are gonna have, the fans that don't have any questions about Sean McDermott are gonna start to be like, like, there's a problem here. I'm not saying the dude should be fired, but I think it's okay to expect more and want more out of him when it comes to X's and O's on game day.
You know what I'm really expecting this year, though, with the way they beefed up that defensive line, I'm really expecting. It doesn't have to be a top 2 run defense, but I'm really expecting for us to have a strong defensive line and let the linebackers and the secondary just play fast.
Yeah,
like I'm really looking forward to seeing Sean McDermott try to do some type of just exotic looks in the secondary to kind of try to create some more turnovers and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I need to see this defensive line that they continue to invest in year after year after year after year. They continue to invest in the defensive line when really everybody and their mama can see that we need to get more weapons for Josh Allen. If you look at last season, the defense was good. Great. Okay, we didn't show up in the last game. But let me ask you this. How many defenses really play great against great quarterbacks? Consistently. I don't mean like one game here. I'm not saying where you get to play against Mahomes and it's the one game that he's just off and you keep the Chiefs scoring 12 points that week. I'm not talking about that. Consistently, what defense do you know that stops every good quarterback they come up against?
It's tough to say. I know that like the top 3 offenses in the league, you're going to run into issues. But when I look at like what's been done to us by Kansas City, by the Bengals, the Eagles defense was statistically great all season. They got shredded by Mahomes. So you're going to have those issues. The thing that I have a hard time swallowing is how they give up those yards and points. Like with Kansas City, the 13 seconds, that's inexcusable for a defensive head coach. That you cannot make that mistake. Last season, with the Bengals, you got guys playing 7, 8, 10 yards off the line of scrimmage with 2 of the best receivers in the league. and free access throws all day. And it's like, I mean, you and I sit on the couch and we look at this and go like, yo, you drafted Kyrie Elam. He's athletic. You mean to tell me Kyrie Elam can't run with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? Like, I don't get it. That's the maddening part to me. I understand that the defensive line was trash. Like when Vaughn went, it didn't work. But you mean to tell me that you couldn't at least just sell out and play, a tighter man coverage on the outside? It's the statistical things, that I just have a hard time with, and it's inexplainable. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, my point, you're right, but my point by saying like what defense consistently plays well enough to stop every quarterback, the point that I was getting to at that is saying like, look, okay, you can build the best defense that you can build and still take an L to a great quarterback. Sometimes when you have a great quarterback, you got to invest on that side of the ball so that way you can have the team that can just go outscore everybody, regardless if your defense is good or not. Some weeks, because the Bills had a top 5 defense again. All season, great defense, right? We one of the lowest scoring defensive team, like they don't score against us, cool. But guess what? At the end of the season, the team beat us. They scored more points than us. We weren't able to put up the points that they were able to put up. Now, you can say it's because Josh and Diggs were arguing. You can say it's because of whatever rumors. You can say it's whatever. At some point, you can't draft, and this is not a knock, you can't draft a Gabe Davis in the 4th or 5th round and think that he's going to give you 1st or 2nd round talent. Now, he might. He might. We saw it in the playoffs, and he had a great playoff game against the Chiefs. That 13 seconds, great. Broke a record, right? So I'm not saying that he can't be great, but we can't keep drafting guys. We can't keep drafting 3rd and 4th round running backs expecting to get Jonathan Taylor-type performance. Now, okay, you draft a tight end in the 1st round. For the first time, we get an offensive weapon for Josh in the 1st round. Let's see how this works out. Yeah. I'll shut up. But go and get Josh the guy. Like, stop being these bargain shoppers. You want to go into Goodwill and expecting to come out with a brand new Louis. You can't do it. Like, you might get lucky where some old person dies and they donate everything and then they didn't wear it one time. Okay, you get lucky. But every time you go to Goodwill, you are not walking out with a brand new Gucci belt. It don't happen like that. It just don't happen.
Yeah.
So like you draft these guys in the 4th round and you expect them to come out there and be Stephon Diggs, who was drafted late, but comes and turns out to be a number 1 wide receiver. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes you got to say, oh, no. I know Justin Jefferson is a 1st round talent. I'm drafting Justin Jefferson in the 1st round. Sometimes you just got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about the Bengals, they were faced with a decision of taking Penei Sewell or drafting Jamar Chase. And they had one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Burrow was sacked the most times of any quarterback in the league that season. What they go do? They say, no, we're just going to go get Jamar Chase, and we'll worry about the offensive line later. And what do you know? They make it to a Super Bowl and beat Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, I think defense will get you in the door, but offense will take you home. I think it's reversed now. I mean, we saw the Eagles last season that in the Super Bowl, defense got shredded, and they needed offense, man. And the offense is what won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, man, I agree. Like, the Dalton Kincaid pick is 2 years. It's like 2 years too late. Like, you should have been doing this a while ago. Now you're gonna do it, right? So,
and I'm still on the record. So for the record, if y'all didn't know my record, I'm on the record to say, go get D-Hop. I don't care that he's going his little tour and he went to New England and he went to Tennessee. Look, go get that man D-Hop. And for all of the people that think that Stephon Diggs is going to be upset because you bring another guy here that's a 1B at this point of his career, y'all got to stop giving him too much credit for being sensitive. I get it. We know who Stephon Diggs is. We see him on the sideline. He is not the diva. Right. He is not as sensitive as you're trying to make him seem. He is not that player that's going to be afraid to have more talent come in to help win games. Like everybody keeps saying, Diggs wasn't like that. You bring him in here and it's going to take time. No, that is not how it works. What it does is it actually opens things up for Diggs. It opens things up for Davis. You can put Davis back in a 3rd position and he can eat on these safeties and eat on these 3rd cornerbacks, these slot cornerbacks. But the way things are right now, you got these guys bracketing or doubling Diggs. You got these guys probably second or sometimes depending on how they choose to play Diggs, you got the number 1 cornerback going up against Davis, and And it's just shutting things down. And it's not now. I'm saying that as we're the number 2 offense in the league. There's games that I watch and I'm pissed off in the third quarter, and I look up and the Buffalo Bills scored 36 points, in the third quarter, and I'm like, how the heck did we score? So I get it. But what I'm saying is the offense could be so much better. It could be so much more efficient. It can look better. And those games that we don't show up, we should have the pieces to where it just shouldn't be an excuse. And really, I don't think it was an excuse last year, even though I guess in some way I'm giving them that excuse.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, man. And this is the first offseason where we've seen the Bills attack the offensive side of the ball like the way they did. So, I mean, I really want to see what Deontay Hardy brings to the table. I mean, I know he's a speed guy, but just watching some all 22 on him, and it's like what he's able to do. Like we talked about McKenzie and how, we just didn't really like how he fit into this Bills offense. I think Deontay Hardy is everything that they've wanted out of McKenzie and more. He's a more of a complete slot receiver, a more of a vertical threat than Isaiah McKenzie would ever be.
Well, I'm just saying, you had 1 or 2 knee surgeries.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've had 1 ACL and 1 broken leg.
Okay. So, with the broken leg and the ACL surgery that you have, you, my guy, can be a better option than Isaiah McKenzie.
I'm just gonna put that out there. I got hands, baby.
You got hands. And guess what? Even if you're not throwing me the ball, I can block. I can get out there. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna just disappear. Let's not.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about him, man. It's like, Deontay Hardy, I think is gonna be surprising. I hope that Trent Sherfield. I mean, this is a guy that was undrafted. The Dolphins they paid Cedric Wilson to be the third option. And guess what? Trent Sherfield beat him out. And so I think, those 2 additions, I know we want to talk about Kincaid. We want to talk about Shakir maybe coming into his second season. But I think those 2 guys can really quietly elevate this Bills passing offense just to take another step forward. So I know they're going to have some to answer whether or not they're going to re-sign Gabe Davis. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd move on from him and draft a guy in the first round next year. But, I have a feeling that they're just gonna re-sign Davis. So
no, so I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad either way. I like Davis, but I also would very much like to draft a guy in the first round. Like, give me. Isn't what's the name supposed to come out next year? Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Man, yo, trade whatever you have to trade. I don't care if it's so what we got to move up. You got to give the next year's first and what, a third or something. I don't know what the packages look like.
Yeah,
give it up. I don't give a damn. Give it up. Like give it up, bro. Like give it up. Whatever they need, give it up to go and get them. You give me a year of Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs, with Kincaid, James Cook coming out the backfield, and Dawson Knox on the. You give me a year of that, man.
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh man,
I just got Randy, bro. I just got I can't say it how I want to say it because this is a podcast and this is a family friendly show, but it made me feel some kind of way.
Yeah, and why couldn't you dream about it? I mean, for the Bills, I think it would be a great decision to just trade what you got to trade and go get Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's available. I think there's always a price. I don't think there's a price too steep for a guy that really. I mean, you think about it. You got 2 to 3 more productive years of Stephon Diggs. He's the second heir, right? He could take over for Stephon Diggs when he leaves. I just think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the truth, man. Like, the dude's good. He's good. And I don't even like saying it because he's an Ohio State guy, but he's good.
Hey, but you got it. You just real recognize real.
I know, right?
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm trying to think, who was we talking about? I was talking about Ashanti and Maya, and people be hating on Ashanti and Maya, like women. I don't know why, because I get why. I mean,
they look good Ashanti. Even now.
Right.
God dang.
And somebody was saying like, well, men hate, and I was like, no, I think it's different. Like, men hate when like there's a reason. Like, for instance, that one actor dude, was it Lance? The Lance, I forget his name, but the dude, when you see him, it's like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, when women, I get it. Women be hating on Ashanti, and it's like, how? Like, you really mad?
Right.
You're really mad. But anyway, everybody in the comments, I just had to throw that because of the hate. You got to be real recognize real. But everybody in the comments saying he's going top 4, top 5.
Oh, for sure.
And look, AK Cash said trade the entire draft. Trade the entire. Sarah says we'll have to give up everything and the 2025 first. But listen, do it. I don't care. I get it. You can't do that, Spence, because you got so like that's how you stay good. Is because you draft good. But guess what? We've shown you before how many draft picks we've missed on over the last few years. I get you.
How you gonna pay all these people?
Yo,
so
go and get them. Go and get them.
Spend some assets and go.
Go and get them. I would go and get them. Like, really, we trade, and I know that, again, different year, different regime. We traded up for Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
Really? Shout out to Sammy. No diss to Sammy. I like Sammy. No, I do. I like Sammy. But we shouldn't have traded up for him. That was the worst trade up in, maybe not in history, but it was damn sure close.
Missed out on Mike Evans, Khalil Mack. I mean, there's so many receivers that draft that were just good.
But I mean, like, was there a receiver that we could have got that would have made EJ better?
Nope. Quickly, nope.
But who? I don't know, because I mean, you look in New York, and because Manning wasn't good in New York, but OBJ had him at least better.
But Manning also won a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls before Odell Beckham came. But he did. I mean, it still means something. I mean, he wasn't the causing.
Let's just
stop
it right there. Let's just stop it right there. let's just stop it right there.
He wasn't a scrub, but he's better than EJ Manuel.
He was better than EJ Manuel. But let's just be honest. Come on, man. Like you. He's a Hall of Famer to you?
To me, no. Nah.
He gonna get that love.
He gonna get it because
he gonna get all that love.
And he won 2 Super Bowls
over Tom Brady.
Overtime.
And I can't hate on him for it. I was happy that he won them, but come on, man. Like,
I think if when they make Eli Manning's bust for the Super Bowl, they need to put, they should probably put Michael Strahan's face right next to it, right? And OCU Manure right next to that. I think that'd be fair. A 3-head.
Because it damn sure was a Manning. Damn sure.
What's that, Tyree with the football on the side of his head? Like, they need to do all the things, man. All the things, bro.
It'd be the first multi-player bust for the Hall of Fame. Because, man, I'm telling you, like, Eli... let me get off of Eli, because Eli is a 2-time champion. And the Buffalo Bills haven't won.
At least
he's very funny. He's very funny. I love his show. Now, do you watch them on Thursday or on Monday Night Football when they do the Manning cast?
Nah.
I don't either. To me, it takes away from the game. I think they're hilarious. I love them, but I can't watch it.
Yeah, it's not for football heads. Like, I don't care that.
Yeah, I want to hear all this joke.
Go on SNL, and then I can laugh at you, or in a commercial. But I ain't trying to listen to you on a game, bro, especially if the Bills playing. I want to hear it.
Just do a podcast. Everybody got a podcast. We all do podcasts. Like, Buffalo Rumblings has 90 of them. Like, everybody does a podcast.
Yeah.
They could do one too. Whatever. But look, if y'all still got some time tonight to hang out with us with Buffalo Rumblings, coming up right after this, Line the Game with Sarah Larson and Jerry Ostrowski, the Big O, and Salary Cap Sarah. That's my new name for her. She's Salary Cap Sarah. And but they're gonna be on here next. I might pop in, talk about the Wall of Fame for a second. I don't know, maybe not. We might do that. You got anything coming up this week?
No, I'm taking it easy, man.
Taking it easy?
You know what I got going on, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just, got to go to Kansas next week. Basketball tournament, national tournament for the kid. He's still hooping, doing his thing, man.
Well, you still take it easy in your travel. You still take it easy. Yeah. Because I come to Kansas and find you. I just want you to know. I will come find you.
It's going to be hot, but I'd love for you to come, dog.
Sterling, he had to find out. He ain't know. I will come looking. You don't answer, I'm going to make sure you answer. But so when do you anticipate your show coming back?
In a couple weeks. As soon as I'm done with this tournament, I'll be back. I go see the specialist next week. So, get some clarification of what's going on.
All right. Well, next week for me, Code of Conduct. Next Tuesday, I have Tia Stell joining me. I actually have a pretty decent lineup coming up over the course of the summer. So I have, Tia Stell. I got Brother Bill coming on. I got Nikki Smokes joining me. I got 2 weeks of Bruce Nolan. I got Matt Perino. I got Sal Capaccio. I got Nate Geary joining me. I got some heavy hitters coming up prior to and then heading into the season. So make sure y'all stay tuned and try to stay plugged in with the Code of Conduct and the rest of the stuff that's happening over at Buffalo Rumblings. And hey, we're gonna get on out of here, man. You want to send us home, Searles?
Yeah, man. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
And we out.
And we out.